So, have I made a decision? Am I going to buy one of those two bikes? Am I going to buy neither of those two bikes? Or am I going to test ride something else? Who knows? So, if you've not watched the last two videos, I've recently test ridden a Harley-Davidson Street Glide and a Triumph Rocket 3 Storm GT. If you want to see those reviews, have a check out of the channel and you can see both of those in my own unique way. So a little bit of background first. My kind of retirement bike to myself for years I thought was going to be the Harley-Davidson Road Glide. But a couple of heart attacks came along out of the blue, and it's surprising how much that changes your perspective on things. So both myself and Mrs. One Guy decided that, you know what, you just don't know what's around the corner, let's get it now. So hence I did the first test ride. But I'd always got in the back of my head that if I was going to test ride the Harley, I was going to test ride the Triumph as well, because I've always just absolutely loved the bike. Well, love the look of it. Every review I watched on it basically just said, you'll be amazed, you will have preconceptions of what the bike is, and it will surprise the crap out of you. If you get opportunity to ride one, ride one. So I knew I was going to test ride that bike as well. So have I decided to purchase either of those two bikes? Yes, I have. I'm not going to be test riding any other bikes. Which one am I buying? I think probably from my reaction, if you've watched both of those videos, it won't be a massive surprise. I have ordered the Triumph. I have put the order in. The bike will be ready in about a month. So before you hardcore Harley heads all unsubscribe from me, I am keeping the Road King. I've spent far too long on that bike to sell it. I love that bike. Probably owes me more money than it's actually worth as well. But I don't want to sell the Harley. So I'll be going on plenty of other adventures on the Harley. So that's staying in the garage. It's now just got a garage buddy. So why? Let's discuss why I didn't buy the Harley first. And there's two reasons. Well, 2.5 reasons. And these are both just how I feel. It's nothing, you know, one bike doesn't fit all people, so it's just my feelings. The Harley is a great bike, but one of the reasons was, or not the main reason, but one of the reasons was this: that view. I know, before you slam me again in the comments, you'd get used to it. Yeah, I would get used to that view, but I don't want to. And somebody commented that, do you ride along looking at the road 3 foot ahead of you? Well, of course you don't. So the fact that you can't see that section of road behind the fairing, not kind of a safety issue or anything like that. To me, that fairing from the rider's perspective just dominated the kind of view. Again, it's just personal opinion, but I felt just a bit more enclosed than I wanted to feel, and I want to feel. I just didn't particularly like it. Again, just personal preference, nothing against the bike. Kind of ironic, seeing as that's one of the reasons I rode that bike and aimed to get the Road Glide, because of the fairing, and then I sat on it and didn't like the view from the rider's perspective. But there you go. The half a reason, The price. Now, again, don't start battering me. I'm not stupid. I knew what the Harley cost before I test rode it. If I couldn't afford the Harley, I wouldn't have test ridden it. But they're a bloody lot of money. And again, you've got this case of, well, they hold their value quite well. Yes, they do hold their value in relation to some other makes very well. But they are a lot of money. And you want to do things to a Harley. You know, God, there's not a lot that's stock on my Harley. You end up customizing your Harley to make it what you want. And if you've got Harleys watching, you know that's not particularly cheap. You know, running them, maintenance, and when you start messing about with them, it's pretty expensive. And I knew before I rode that bike, I'd probably want to put another exhaust on it. Which brings me to another point. It made me quite upset, that dealership that I rode, well, it's Harley in Oxford. They put nearly a £2,000 exhaust on that bike. I think that's so wrong. You want to ride a stock bike to let you know if you want to purchase that bike or not. So don't go and put a £2,000 exhaust on it. I think that's really, really wrong. And there's only one reason you would do that, is because you thought the exhaust stock on the bike wasn't going to sell the bike. And I suspect it probably wouldn't. So, very annoying. So, buying that bike, you're going to be well over 30 grand. And that's without even considering if you want to then start messing about with stage 2s and things like that. It's a bloody lot of money. But the main reason, and I'm actually going to tell you when I go through why I bought the Triumph over the Harley. And I might add, if I hadn't have purchased or decided to purchase the Triumph, I wouldn't have actually purchased the Harley. I'd have carried on test riding bikes to find the right bike for me, because I don't think the Harley was. So yeah. So the Triumph, what an absolutely just amazing machine. Totally a special bike. It's fantastic once you get on it. And I've never had this getting on a bike quite intimidated. When I was stood next to it before the test ride, I was hoping the sales guy was just going to give me the keys and then banner off, because I was stood next to it thinking, you know the numbers of the bike, and you're thinking, is it just going to be an animal? And yeah, quite an intimidating bike. Why did I go for that? Bearing in mind as well, it has its downsides from my perspective. It hasn't got the wind protection of the Harley, but I've already purchased a larger aftermarket screen, and it's quite a bit bigger as well, so that should give me a lot more wind protection. And I do not think it's going to give me the luggage of what a Harley bagger will. So it's not like it's not got its downsides. It certainly has, from my perspective on what I want to use the bike for. But the main reason, the one reason, in fact, I'm in a very fortunate position where my bike isn't my main form of transport. I've got a car for that outside. My bike, or bikes now, are there to do one single job. And that's make me happy when I'm on that bike. That's it. So it's got to be special. It's got to feel special when you're on it. Whether you're 6 foot away looking at it or you sat there riding it, it's got to make you feel that it's a special machine and put a big smile on your face. The Harley just didn't do that. Yes, I could have ridden that Harley all day. It's a very nice bike to ride. But I spent the week after the Harley test ride thinking, do I want to buy this bike? And then my mindset changed to, what are you doing? Why are you having to think this hard about if you want to buy the bike? It shouldn't be that way. And I knew when I was riding the Triumph, it was the right bike. I knew when I got off, I wanted that bike. And I just didn't have that on the Harley. It was too, meh. That's not meant to sound really negative about the Harley, but it just didn't have that effect on me. The Triumph absolutely did. It felt like a proper special machine, which I genuinely think it is. It's amazing to ride. And if you haven't, I've sounded like the reviewers that I've watched, if you haven't ridden one and you get the opportunity, ride one. It will massively surprise you how agile and light feeling a bike that big and that heavy can feel. What a total pleasure it has been on it. Yeah, as I said on the reviews, the power is a bonus, but it doesn't dominate the bike. It doesn't just, that's not the main characteristic. You know it's there, and it's very nice to have if you do want to use it. But it's just an all-round tremendous bike, and it put a massive smile on my face, which is why I want to be on a motorbike. That's the sole purpose. Just as James May said, just gives you that fizz. It just makes you want to be on it. So yeah, the Triumph is ordered. It'll be about a month and then it'll be home. I've already received the larger screen, which Triumph are fitting for me, and some headlight protectors, which have got a tint to them, so they'll look pretty cool. All the luggage will be there by the time the bike is ready for me to pick it up as well. So it'll be basically ready for a trip as soon as I get it. So yeah, I am really looking forward to having that bike and spending some proper hours on it and going on some adventures. And to be honest, I think Triumph should give it me for free, because it's probably going to get tested. You know the stuff I've done on the Road King, so it's going to get put through its paces. Just about everything's going to get thrown at it. So I am really looking forward to it. I hope you will all join me on my adventures with the Triumph. As I say, the Harley's going nowhere. I'll be still using the Harley. That is not just going to sit there gathering dust. But it'd be nice to have a choice, So thank you so much. And comments wise, thank you all. I do try and reply to every single comment. If I miss one, don't shoot me. There's been quite a few, but I will try and get around to commenting, to replying to every single comment, and they are massively appreciated. I am very fortunate to have such an absolutely ace bunch of people watching my videos. So yeah, if you've watched them and you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. It helps massively. So if you've watched them and enjoyed them, just subscribe as well. So I'll finish it off there. I will probably take you along when I go and pick the Triumph up. And yeah, I will see you all at that point. Thank you very much. Catch you all later.